Sorry.
So I'm Salvatore Cascio, and my business is Salva Tours, custom tour company of Sicily and Rome. On large tours, you have 40 people on a tour. You have a lot of wasted time. You have very little interaction with your own tour guide, and you look, but you don't actually get to see on your tours. So my mission is to show Sicily and Rome in an intimate, educational, and passionate way that no other tour company can provide. And I'll do this by limiting tours to 2 to 6 people per tour. And my target market is students, baby boomers, and return travelers to Italy. And I'll go to Italian learning groups, schools, and universities and churches for my market. They can find me on my website here, salva-tours.com, Facebook or Twitter. Sicily tours start at $2,500 per person per week, and on those I'm projecting 24 people in my first year. That's $60,000 revenue just for the first year alone. Everybody gives me a down payment before, and I'll cover the fee for the custom itinerary, and then that money is also used for all the hotels. All tours are paid for before they leave, so everything's paid for, nothing out of my pocket. In Sicily, there are no real big dominators in the market, and I feel like I'm really competing against the big three, Rome, Florence, and Venice. But in Italy, I'm competing against tour companies like Insight and Perillo Tours, but they just drop you off at the main attractions and they just leave you for yourself. So basically, you're paying for the transportation. With me, you're paying for the service. Because remember, on a Salva tour, you're paisano, not a tourist.
That's great.
That's good stuff, man. I mean, so what, on the average tour, it's funny, I just came back from Italy too.
Are you from Cefalù, by the way?
I did a tour. What's that?
Are you from Cefalù, by the way?
No.
Oh, because I know a lot of Cangelosi's from.
Oh, nice. No, but I did do a tour. I did do a Roman tour because I was, my first time to Italy actually. And, I actually ponied up to the private tour guide because the groups were just too chaotic. But are you suggesting that you're doing multiple stops? Like you would go through and it'd be a multi-day tour?
So in Rome, like I can show you on here, we do, I'd say a 4-day tour of Rome is the best.
Okay. Because
there's so much to Rome and you really need months to see Rome. But if you're there for a short amount of time, you need 4 days. It's like day 1, you'd be in the Centro Storico, see Piazza Navona, the Pantheon, Trevi Fountain, Spanish Steps. Day 2, you go ancient Rome, you get to see the Forum, Palatine Hill, and Colosseum. Day 3, Vatican, do all that. That's a whole day in itself. Castel San Angelo, perhaps, if you have time. And day 4, Trastevere, you see that whole neighborhood. And I think you can see Rome that way. But
do you want to know how I saw Rome?
okay.
So I did like all 3 of those in one day. It's crazy.
And you didn't like it?
I had such a small amount of time. No, I wish I was able to breathe, take a break, but I did.
I want to understand the fees. So for $2,500, are you covering their hotels as well?
So
and what else are you covering? You covering food? You're not covering food.
You get 2 meals, a welcome dinner and a goodbye dinner.
So just 2 meals, but
Yep.
hotels. You're covering hotels and tours for $2,500 a week.
So
and
charging
the
and the admission to these places?
yes, well, for Rome, it's not that much money, but for Sicily, it is.
Okay, so I want to tell you something. You just first of all, you're charging too little.
Okay.
First thing, really. You should make a lot more money than that. If you're giving a custom tour, including accommodations for a very limited number of people, you need to raise your rates. I mean, $300 a day, $400 a day is kind of the going fare for. That's if you're doing it on your own or you're part of a big tour group. So I think you should be appealing to the upper end, frankly.
Yeah.
For people who say, I'm willing to pay more find that niche. Find the high-end niche that says, I'm willing to pay $600 a day for a first lunch tour.
I paid $600 for that tour I talked to you about.
There you
For
go.
just one?
That was with gratuity, but I tipped her. She was great, and because she was just like, I'm going to pack it in for you.
By the way, did she pay for your hotel?
She did not pay for my hotel.
Okay, so that's just the tour, not including the
That was just her. Met her at the Vatican City gates, and that was it.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how you're going to serve 2 to 6 people and be cost effective.
Because in Sicily, I found some hotels that are cheaper, but
first class all the way. If you want to sell paisano, it's got to be first class.
And then with that, I have a lot of family and friends in Sicily, and my cousin, he has his best friend, her father owns all the hotels in one town.
Good guy.
So, so I'm going to be talking with him this summer. I have actually a solo Rome tour for this summer that I'm doing, and I'll be down Sicily in the next month after that to go around the whole island, meet more people, make connections, try to get deals with all the hotels. And if he owns all the hotels, he knows people in other cities that own hotels.
My question is, now is your thing to do you have like the exact tourism numbers on Sicily? Are you trying to like drive or carve out?
Well, like drive.
So you're trying to drive like tourism to Sicily?
Well, yes, but I understand that Italy is the fifth most visited country in the world,
right.
But Sicily, people don't think of that and they're scared. They see mafia and scary images of that. But in Sicily, it's so beautiful. Like, look at the pictures, you know. So,
That's true.
but people don't know about that. So people that go back for the second and third time, I'm looking at that market because the second time they go for a week in Tuscany in the villa or the Lake District. But I think, why waste your time there? Sicily is the most beautiful place I've ever been, I think. So I want people to see that side of Sicily the way I know it. I want to be viewed as a cousin of you if you're my customer, and I want to take you to all my favorite spots. I'll show you what you like, but it's custom. So if you don't like something, I'm not going to waste your time bringing you there. If you're not interested in like the Vatican, we're not going to waste the whole day in the Vatican. And it's not, everything is different. Every tour is made custom.
Well, thank you very much. I don't know how many people came to both ventures.